What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. Sunday morning, 7:23 in the morning on the 25th of January, 2026. Heading to an emergency service call in Merrick. We have a new residential client that's got a Burnham Alpine modulating condensing boiler, and his house is freezing. We have hard lockouts, we have soft lockouts, we have red screens of death. Let's get them up and running. That's the goal. When you call Pipe Doctor Home Services, the parts are on the truck. And be sure to ask about our maintenance plans to save you time and money on any future service work with us. Let's go. All right. Probably best to go through the garage door, but let's see. Should I go through the garage? Yeah, not easier through the garage?
Whatever you need.
What's easiest?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, garage buddy. I don't like to get snow through the wood floor, you know. All right. Good morning.
Come on.
How are you? Back there?
We're cold.
You're cold? Or maybe this there. I know we put that at the front door, but since I'm walking this way. Yeah. All right. How old is the unit?
It was installed after Sandy, 2012.
Okay. Have you been doing annual service on it?
Not annual.
Okay. How often do they take it apart and clean it?
I want to say never.
Never? Okay.
Well, we thought about a year ago. I mean, guy came in, and there's something going on with this thing. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's supposed to be hanging out there.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's see what's going on. You got a few leaks here, but it's because it's cold. That's probably because it's cold. So.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this thing?
25 years.
Oh, so you were working. I got it.
Yeah.
You want me to close the garage?
No, you can leave it. Whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna have to go to the truck and get a few parts though, but. So I'm gonna be the first to tell you this, because it looks like the installer did not tell you this. You know, these machines are like the Rolls Royces of cars. They do need service annually, and if you don't service it annually, when it dies completely, I've had customers give me like boatloads of cash to replace their Alpine that's 11 years old. So. Service is taking it apart. There's a 22-page instruction manual with pictures in case the plumber's illiterate. Seriously, dead serious.
I have the owner's manual.
No, it's a separate service manual that you need a Sharpie to mark things in the inside of the boiler. It's crazy. All right, so I'm holding down the reset button and nothing's happening on this Sage controller. Nothing. So unfortunately, that's probably going to be what you need, but yeah, probably. All right, this is the, so I'm going to, for testing purposes, I'm going to put a brand new controller in to make sure that we don't have anything else going on here.
Right.
And then I'll give you the bad news, which is the price, but the pieces are dried out. But
What's that sweating, the condensation? Is that just because it's cold?
no, so that's a part that's normally warm at a certain temperature, and it's just the nature of the beast because it's cold, right. And it's shrunk.
Right.
So.
And what about this? There's like it looks like two pressure gauges to the left, down to the left.
Where? Over there?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a pressure gauge there. If you have pressure in there, you're good.
All right. A man's, my friend Clinique said, a man's got to know his limitations.
Yeah.
I can do anything on the vending machine. Is that the...
That's the controller, yes. And here's a new one.
What's usually involved in a service service cleaning?
Okay, so let me just put this in first, and I'll tell you. But the we remove the wrong way. We remove the gas piping. Yes, remove the gas piping. Disconnect that, and then we start taking apart the unit from the gas going into it and down. But essentially, this front plate comes out. The inside of this gets scrubbed and rinsed with everything there. And then there's plates in here called the swirl plate, inside where the gas sucks in the air. That gets adjusted and cleaned. And sometimes replaced because improper separation outside causes the crack, and then you have a bad swirl plate, but that's what we normally see. Okay, now it's plug and play.
You kidding me?
Yeah.
So I asked for a copy of it. I showed my daughter. He said, I'm telling you, it was never filed. So I called up, and
Okay.
It's just a disaster.
All right, we have to. Nope.
I hear something firing up. So then, at that time, that was right after COVID,
Yes.
and there was nobody in the permitting office, you know, for
Uh-huh.
I didn't want a pool, but I said to my wife, look at the backyard, look at the front yard, we don't know what's going to be happening with this stupid thing. So I had a pool put in like a week later, and then I had a permit expediter come, and she said, when I see the pool, I have to report it.
You have a 152.
And on top of that, then I was told the initial thing is that, oh, we have to have your...
All right. So we changed that stage controller, and we are up and running right now. Now, one of the things you have to do when you do change the stage controller in your Burnham boiler is that you're going to have to log in as factory, and I'm not going to give you the code. But you're going to make sure that your modulation setup, your boiler is the correct boiler type in there. You have to do that. And then make sure that your pump control is all correct as well. So right now we're running the pump for central heat with no priority. And we're done. Let's do a quick little overview. We got this Badaris indirect fired water heater, and it is piped in right off of that. So this pump needs to be on in order for that to work. See, it's not part of the primary loop. See that, folks? It's piped in as a zone after the air separator here. So normally with an indirect fire water heater, you pipe it into the primary loop here between those two closely spaced T's, which are not closely spaced. And the boiler will fire for the tank with its own pump circulator anytime there's a call for domestic hot water. So it's piped in incorrectly, but it still works. It's been that way forever. But this is the system pump, the boiler pump, indirect pump, zones. And they're not really called pumps, they're called circulators. So I'm sorry for mispronouncing what it's actually called. And there's our expansion tank, air separator. Should have 16, 18 inches of piping on both sides, but whatever.